Hit the blacktop, midnight sky. JJ Vance got questions he can't deny. Used to have an RV full of case file stack, map full of mysteries. Thumbtack, hear the hum of the tires, feel the pull of the strings. Where the lights in the woods get real deranged. Open your brain holes where the truth explodes, and hunker on down for a trip on the GCD high witness road. He's riding down the high weirdness road, chasing every story nobody's told. Muppets in the backseat, vampires in tow. JJ Vance on the high weirdness road. Cold case counties and abandoned towns. Something in the shadows keeps swirling round. CIA bots shouting, "Who killed Bill Kobe?" JJ just laughs and cranks the sound. Where the timeline's bend and the truth gets loud, and the moon looks wrong behind a wandering cloud. If the vampires strike, well, that's just how it goes. He's riding down the high weirdness road, where impossible things are the stories he's old. From hidden hollers on a foggy night to the America's wasteland in Heartland, JJ Vance on the high weirdness road. He's rolling down the highway, weirdness road, chasing every phantom the archives hold. Truth gets strange, but he won't let go. JJ Vance on the high weirdness road.
Howdy, folks. Your host, Double J, back here, coming at you live slash recorded. I'm live. This is recorded. You're hearing me recorded. Anyhow, welcome back here, folks, to the interwebs. I will be your pilot and navigator for today's shenanigan-infused journey on the GCD Adventures Road, High Weirdness Roads. That is where we're at here today, folks, of the interwebs. My mission to Mexico redo, Montana to Mexico, this journey, in fact. Back to Mexicoville, wasting away here in Tijuanaburg. But anyhow, folks, of the interwebs, we got some interesting stops to the Mormon mothership, shirtless Bigfoot hosts who inflate their YouTube views. Anyhow, and much, much more. There's definitely a burger element to all this. Probably a breakfast burrito element to all this, so buckle up there, Buttercup, because we're embarking on the GCD adventures on the High Weirdness Road here, folks. Wham! Howdy, folks. Your host, Double J, back here, coming at you from Big Sky Country. Checkpoint, I don't know what the sign says over here. Something. Says something, all right. Checkpoint Glacier National Park. That's where they make all the glaciers. That's where all the glaciers get manufactured. I am confused by the language here of the locals, the natives, if you will. They seem to be using letters as in an exponent. What's the? I don't do math too well. I'm not Asian. They got like some. They got some number. They got letters up there where you'd expect to see some numbers, dude. Exponentials, maybe. We'll try that. We'll go with that one. Anyhow, This is Checkpoint Big Sky Country. Disregard Checkpoint Glacier National Park here in Big Sky Countries. The driving here through the local res here on the way to Flathead Lake. I think it's called Flathead. Oh man, nothing around here looks too flat to me. Got to go get my wagon. Had to get it all geared up for the road. I got that loaner car for the from the dealer. Nothing like driving 4 hours to get to your dealership. Go fuck yourself, Hyundai. Howdy, folks. Your host, Double J, back here at no, still here in Big Sky Country. Look at that. Look at that big old sky right there. Here at Checkpoint Flathead Lake. Thankfully, it's a lot more flat here, it seems. Here in Big Arm, Montana. Home of the Big Arm. I suppose. Home of the Big Arm or something, all right. This is a state park, I believe. A little boating and camping going on down there. Yeah. But this folks over here, they've been here for probably since like 1850. They got the whole state park next to them. Probably won about $4.5 billion for that home too, because it's on this lake. It's all bougie and fancy around the lake, but you get off the lake, it gets pretty economically depressed pretty damn quickly, especially here on the res. This isn't the res though, but I'm about to be back on the res when I get on the other side of Kalispell. I feel like this place is taking me 17 years to get to today, man. Look at that. More of that Glacier National Park, home of the glaciers. I mean, that's where they make the glaciers. It's a pretty gorgeous country, though. That's for damn sure. Big Arm State Park. They need to be famous for I feel like they need to be famous for like a sandwich named the Big Arm. They have a town named Big Arm. I don't know. Seems like a dumb name otherwise. Howdy, folks. Your host, Double J, back here. Checkpoint inside Glacier. The manufacturing of glaciers there in the Glacier Mountains. We've almost to West Glaciers. Stop for a delicious burger fry. This establishment, which seems to be operated by this gentleman here, who, thank God, put a shirt on. And apparently, according to everything I see here, his car on the outside and everything operates some sort of Bigfoot YouTube channels. So that's interesting. We got a Bigfoot hunter sighting right now. Certainly is pretty country though, I'll tell you that much. Nice day. Damn near 80 degrees today, at least back in near Great Falls. They got arcades, dude. They got Bigfoots, dude. Ice cream gifts, t-shirts, some huckleberries. I'm still not certain what a huckleberry is. A lot of huckleberry activity here in Montana. I am frightened of it. Oh wait, there's a Bigfoot. Oh wait, no, Bigfoot hunter sighting right there. My bad. James Willows? I don't know. Everything in here says Bigfoot James Willows. His car says it. 6.3 million YouTube hits. Good times. Howdy, folks. Your host Double J back here, coming at you live slash recorded. I'm live, but you're listening to this recorded. Here, I got my wagon back. Boom. Here at the deep inside Glacierville, Montanas, home of the glaciers. Oh, that's not it. A lot of high peaks here. We're at the Devil's Creek Campground. Apparently, this is where the devil camps. Well, this is the trailhead actually, but the campground's just around the way. I had one of them little selfie stick gimbal things, and I must be a gimbal because left it in my damn loaner car from the dealership. I picked it up from the post office just yesterday. How dare I? So I'm trying to keep this as steady as possible because no, I don't want to watch a Huawei screen, let alone make you folks subject you folks to the interwebs to such tomfoolery. Beautiful country here, Big Sky country of deep inside the glaciers, home of the Devil's Creek. I initially thought these were some sort of ritual altars for the sacrifices here, but apparently it has something to do with the stock. It says stock parking only. I don't know. I'm not gonna rule it out. They got a couple of them here. It is Devil's Creek. They gotta do their sacrifices somewhere. Anyhow, checkpoint Devil's Creek, deep inside glacier country here, folks of the interwebs, on the Operation GCD adventures. My roads to high weirdness and hopefully good health, for fuck's sake. Howdy, folks. Still here at the Devil's Creek, checkpoint Devil's Creek, that is. So they got some strange signs here, I'm not gonna lie to you. The stock sign over there by the what appears to be altars. I'm obviously being somewhat facetious on that, although I don't know what those are for over there. Certified weed-free straw and feed required on public lands. Here in Devil's Creek here, folks, you can't be having none of that devil's lettuce. We got weed-free. Oh, there's a train. And then over here we got this sign over here says, did you know that drones are prohibited in wilderness areas? So I do now, thanks a lot sign. And also this is bear country. Hey, look here, boy. You're in bear country. In the devil's land of bear country. Bear country in the devil's land. I don't know. I don't work here. I'm just passing through here. Shit. Howdy, folks. Your host Double J back here, checking in for another Operation GCD Adventures. Checkpoint Great Falls, Montana. The old block here I lived on for a while back just down the road here where the Hardys used to be. We're in the summer of 2000. Nathaniel Barjona, the kid-diddling, cannibalistic, psychopathic serial killer whom I came face to face with in 2001. Eyeball about 18 inches apart through some thin plexiglass at the county jail. And, yeah. And very likely fed me human meat burgers at the local Hardee's that used to be down the road here. I don't know what this building is. It says Washington School, though, 1909, still standing. I don't know what they're doing with it. I didn't know what this building was when I lived on this block. This is my original block here when I first moved to this town. First thing still on. Go the 1100 block of First Avenue North. Ain't changed much. Ain't changed much at all here. This block looks identical, in fact. Pull over up here on the side here to what used to be the overflow parking, and apparently still is the overflow parking for who knows what, dude. Look, that's why I figured there'd be broken down cars in this parking lot. My dude Kevin the Big Human's broken down car was in this parking lot. He had a Ford Bronco too, like 1978 style. Sat in this parking lot for like over a year, dude. This parking lot still is international waters. And I did drive by here the other day when I was in town, and I realized that there's still the little shed that's in the alleyway behind my old house here where this drug dealer named Todd lived. He was a huge drug cocaine trafficker. Oh, there's folks living in my old spot. The guy walking out right there. Boom. That's the old stomping ground. That's the birthplace of Ruth Ball. ROOFBALL, Roof Ball. We would throw a ball, typically a soccer ball or a football or something. Sometimes it'd be crazy, get a football, soccer ball or basketball, my bad, on the top roof up there. And then you'd stand up, two folks would stand back near the sidewalk, and then two folks would stand up near the stoop, and you'd have to throw the ball for the team on the sidewalk, the two players on the sidewalk, throw the ball on the top, and then the two guys the two players near the stoop would then run back and try to catch the ball. It's somewhat difficult, especially if you're going to get into play some of the additional roofs you got working on there. It looks like a real shithole. Looks like it hasn't changed much since I lived there. Anyhow, it's not surprising. Not surprising at all. They did tear down the old pool. There was an indoor pool here, the city pool, indoor pool that used to sit where that playground is, though. I've actually seen roof balls, an actual thing televised on like ESPN the Ocho, like ESPN 8 the Ocho.
His third roof ball event, second major championship, and another ping.
I'm telling you what, man. He's a pro.
He's a Terminator right now.
Yeah, Rob feels it.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
So, I'm not even recording it right now. So, and then this is a duplex. So here on the right side of the duplex lived these two crackhead brothers, their mother and their younger brother. They were twins. They were a little bit older than us, or me especially. They were like 20. I was probably 17, 18 when I first moved in there. I guess I was just barely 18. But yeah, there's a fucking and those two crackheads stabbed each other the first night we were there. We were having a welcome in party, they partied damn near every night, but yeah, there's Todd the crackheads. Oh, they put up a fence. That's nice. They got a nice little backyard in these spots now. We never had a fence. We had a shed. There's Todd the crackhead's house, the crack dealer's house, or cocaine dealer. I don't know. He was a nice guy though. We always watched our house when we were away because we would be posted out here in the missile field for 4 nights at a time. So when the house generally sat empty, he would be there. Although one of our roommates, he worked a different shift. My roommate Josh, he's a retired New York State police trooper now. He worked a different shift, and in fact, relative to roof ball, this sport that we definitely created there at that house and is now an actual thing somehow. Not that I don't think there was any impact from my creation, mine and my fellow garbage can dudes' creation of roof ball, because obviously it entails throwing a ball on a roof and trying to catch it, but it is strikingly similar. What I recently saw posted being broadcast in like ESPN the Ocho or some shit, which is hilarious that they do that, and like frisbee golf's on ESPN now. Whatever, dude. Anyhow, one time my boss called, mine and the rest of the dude's boss. Again, there was 5 of us that lived there. One of them worked a different shift. The one that didn't work a different shift, Josh, the retired New York State police trooper now. He, I think he's a real estate agent now too, but he, after he's retired. Anyhow, my point there being is he's an interesting character. And when my boss called, we called him the Bubbinator, kind of like the Terminator, but his name was Jim Bub. You didn't fuck with him. We called him the Bubbinator. And Josh answers the phone, National Roof Ball Association. And so this is, this is 25 years ago. And, 26 years ago, 26, 27 years ago. So when he says National Roof Ball Association, ROOFBALL, the Bubbinator heard RuPaul, as in the drag queen, RuPaul. He said, what? National RuPaul Association? Put somebody on the phone that I want to talk to. And he never called my house. So it was not a good instance. Anyhow, out here on this checkpoint in Nathaniel Barjona, Great Falls, Montana, in the old block, yeah. Howdy, folks. Your host Double J back here from our checkpoint, Great Falls, Montana, here in Operation GCD Adventures at the Parthenon, my apologies, can't talk. Another establishment here in the bottom right there, next to the stoop where my apartment used to be. And we had this old landlord. We had 3 apartments, so there was 2 of us in each apartment. We had this old landlord here named Gus. He probably built the place. He was given the name Parthenon because he was 97 years old when I knew him back 25 years ago. And he he couldn't speak barely any English, an old Greek fella. That's why I say Parthenon. He probably built the place. He was the owner, and he lived in the building right behind me, across the road there. But he had a little sign next to the door that said, please lock it to door and keep it lock it. Because English was not Gus's first language. And again, he was 97 years old. And then, he would say weird shit to us all the time, like, my boys, you gotta make it. The door locked automatically. The only time it wouldn't lock if you put something in the front door there, if you put something blocking the door from closing, because it was one of those automatic locking things with an old school key just to open it, whatever. It was a nice spot. We had some 70s shag carpeting, dude. It was kicking. Anyhow, my point here being is Gus would say, but my boys, you gotta lock it to door. He would remind us this every time we see us. My boy, hey Gus, how you doing? My boys. That's how it would go. But we see Gus. Hey Gus, how you doing, bud? That's what I'd say to him, and he'd say, my boys, you gotta lock it to door. The kids, they shit on the carpet. The kids, they shit on the carpet. And I'm like, Gus, what kids are shitting on what carpet, bud? And you say, oh, they shit on the carpet every day. These kids, they shit on the carpet. You got to lock the doors, my boy. I'm like, all right, bud. I'll make sure the door's locked. I don't know the door was ever unlocked. Nor did I ever see any kids shitting on the hallway carpets. So, you'll have that. Howdy, folks. Once again, coming in hot at a red light. Checkpoint Nathaniel Barjonaville, Great Falls, Montana. Also checkpoint Edward Wayne Edwardsville. Old Ed himself used to haunt these grounds. In fact, he's allegedly responsible for a number of murders in this town. Lo and behold, I believe it was 1953. He, at least on record, robbed a local gas station here, local convenient mart, and there just happened to be a Lover's Lane murder that week, or that same day, I believe, or within close proximity, day or before or after. It seems to have the hallmark of old Ed, that Lover's Lane murder. And now it's being put on recently, actually. There was just somebody charged in that Lover's Lane murder from, I believe, again, 1953. So maybe it was 1956 now that I think about it. We'll call it circa 1956. Anyhow, we're on the way out here at Great Falls. Bye-bye, Great Falls. Bite my ass and lick my balls. I think that's what I said to this town last time I left it, but no, I'm just playing. That's actually a quote from American Pie. Well, anyhow, we got Bison Ford. Turns out I'm no longer a bison rancher. I've resigned that post. Anyhow, you'll have that. Here on GCD Adventures, the High Weirdness Road, we embark. And I'll catch you folks live/recorded on my next installment here, my next checkpoint here on GCD Adventures, Big Sky Country. Howdy, folks. Your host Double J back here, coming at you live/recorded again from the Big Belt Mountains. Real big, real belt, big belt. Here on a Checkpoint Society of the Cincinnati. There's the wagon. Checkpoint Society of the Cincinnati. Lewis and Clark style. Boom. The Missouri River Canyon and old U.S. Highway 91. The Lewis and Clarkburg expedition passed through the canyon of nearly perpendicular rocks during its journey up Missouri River butthole. I'm sorry, I added that part. Up the Missouri River in July of 1805. Although the men grumbled, that's a weird statement, about mosquitoes and prickly pear cactus, a bunch of bitches, if you ask me. Just kidding, obviously. Driving across the country is an arduous task. Going on horseback, foot, and riverway, yeah. I'd like to try it, but that's a fucking arduous task, I'll tell you that much. But this is Hardy Creek. Hardy Creekville. Big Bell Mountains. Lewis and Clarkburg. Just beyond yonder, over that perpendicular rock face right there, is Hardy Creek. And that's where I do a lot of cliff diving into the always frigid Missouri River. What we got here? The Hardy Bridge. What we got here? Al Capone stuff, dude? We're talking Al Capone stuff? That's fucking interesting, man. That's fucking interesting. It seems Great Falls contractors Angus McGuire Efforts Blakesley, get a new name, dude, built a bridge. Oh, that bridge right over yonder. Okay. Ka-chow. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Apparently that bridge, called Hardy Bridge because of the nearby community of that name, the bridge was an important part of U.S. Highway 91 until bypassed by the interstates in 1968. I'm on the interstates. I'm on I-15. So that's US 91 down Belows. The Hardy Bridge figured prominently in the 1987 I can't talk here, folks, at the interwebs. I need to go visit my local science store. Oh, they filmed the Untouchables here in 87, eh? Oh, that was the fictional US border crossing. I gotcha. I didn't fucking know that, man. Interesting. Yeah, there's a scene in the Untouchables where it's supposed to be the Alberta and Montana border crossing. There's a shootout with Al Capone's folks smuggling in the booze, those sons of bitches. And apparently it was filmed right there. Boom, at that bridge. I did not know that. Fun fact. That's a fun-filled Kevin Costner fact for you folks at the interwebs. What's that? That's a nice little crevice. It's a nice little crevice right there in the forefront of that bridge. Hell of a hike to get up there, but it looks like someone's gotten up there and filled with them rocks. They don't look natural. Maybe it was Bigfoot. I don't know. Maybe it was that Bigfoot hunter that served me a burger shirtless in his diner. That was weird. Anyhow, Checkpoint Society of Cincinnati / Kevin Costner and the Untouchables / Big Belt, real big belt, Big Belt Mountains, Hardy Creek, Operation GCD Adventures, out here. Howdy, folks. Your host Double J back here from Somewhereville, Montana. It's big cloud country. So, and damn near snow. It was 80 degrees up north. I here. I did see this fine establishment as I gassed up. Said all day breakfast burritos. Said now you're talking my language here, folks. I'm a great big fat person. Here, Mexican roadside Mexican shack here. So definitely got to check that out here. Checkpoint breakfast burrito here. Taylor. Not much going on here. Your typical Lucky Lou's casinos and other casinos of that natures, and they got a McDonald's, a Subway, and a burrito shack, dude. I'm into the burrito shack, so Checkpoint Burrito Shack here. Next up, the Mormon Mothership. Well, by way of Idaho Falls, got to pass through there. That's also Edward Wayne Edwards' former territory, and the former territory of the satanic serial killer who they keep trying to kill in Idaho, but have been unsuccessful. One, Thomas Eugene Creech. He did a lot of the same shit Ed did on his crime spree, including 10 years after Ed. And he was at the Chillicothe Federal Reformatory 10 years after Ed also, when Ed was there with old Chuck Manson. My cousin, we're both Maynard McCoys from Pikeville, Kentucky, me and old Chuck. Anyhow, Thomas Eugene Creech would also marry a 17-year-old in Idaho Falls, Idaho, to start his Pacific Northwest crime spree. 10 years after Ed had done the same thing. So, both satanic serial killers. Weird. Anyhow, I'm about to go check out this burrito situation here, folks. Checkpoint Burrito out. Howdy, folks. Your host Double J back here, coming at you live / recorded from the Mormon mothership country of the Utah Valley University here at the site of Charlie Kirk's alleged assassination. Well, I guess alleged assassination at the alleged hands of Ty Robinson, who allegedly was at the peak of that top roof corner there, and allegedly murked Charlie Kirk in or about here, where these are now plants. All these plants are now sitting in the new concretes. And weird, I found Jacob J here. What in the world? Talk about GCD Adventures. Goodness gracious, I can't even talk.
And Corn Pop was a bad dude, and he ran a bunch of bad boys.
Well, the only difference between crack cocaine and cocaine is sodium bicarbonate and water and heat. Literally,
that's it.
That's it.
And those things are pretty much free if you go to like a science store.
And Corn Pop was a bad dude, and he ran a bunch of bad boys.
This road to high weirdness. Speaking of high weirdness, you got daddy issues. Apparently, someone left this for Charlie Kirk here. I pray my book blesses you. This is dedicated to Charlie, an example of great panned God bless you, R.I.P. Charlie. Kelly, maybe? 2020? Kelly 2020? What does that mean? That's weird, man. I don't understand I don't understand a lot about this, sir. I don't understand a lot about this.
It does actually look like being down here.
Can I film your statements?
Like it did in the video when you're down here.
Yep.
But when you're up above, it's tiny.
It does look very, very small.
That you've seen is very distorted, and it does not give you a sense of actually being here.
I would concur with that statement. It's very odd walking in here. A lot of cameras, including these cameras right here, would have got a good view of the comings and goings. 360 point tilt zoom PTZ cameras there, right behind the scene where the tent was located. Right here. There's the valley of, what are we calling this again? The Valley of the Flags. The Hall of Flags. I called it the Valley of Flags, but some sort of UN propaganda piece, I think. Valley or Hall of Flags, but that's where the film was, catching this individual running across that rooftop, as they tell us. I don't know. It's a very limited line of sight, even from that corner. Well, I agree. You have a line of sight. Look at that pole, though, dude.
Right.
So if you're on a sniper nest on the corner of that building, looking down in this direction, man, that light pole is right in your way. Almost like. So we're looking at that corner right down through here, right? Oh, I'm putting in the wrong spot. There we go. Man, that's a rough line of sight. You were saying you almost have to hook that, right? You do almost have to hook. Well, I'm zoomed in like crazy.
Especially where he would have been hit.
Yeah, which is like right about, yeah. Yeah. I didn't do this. I'm telling you, man, this water fountain thing is freaking me out, dude.
All that, right?
Yeah. Things I didn't know existed here. Howdy, folks. Checkpoint UVU again. This is the aerial view above Charlie Kirk's alleged assassination spot with the full-blown courtyard view here and the alleged site of Tyler Robinson. We actually parked over by where Robinson allegedly jumped off that building, and we'll get over there next year on this Adventures of the GCD Adventures. Weirdness Roads. And I'll tell you, this is weird. This whole water feature, I had no idea was here. Well, it was not active that day, but it is creeping me out in sort of a water sacrifice, ritual human sacrifice, water style situation. And the more I look at it, the more it looks like the Tree of Life, and or at least a variation of the design. Howdy, folks. Your host Double J back here, coming at you live / recorded on this edition of another Checkpoint UVU here with oh look, weird, Jacob J from Rise of Liberty. Oh, weird, how'd you get here, sir? So we just got done with a multiple hour tour here at the UVU campus, and we met an interesting character, did we not?
Yes, a dentist.
A dentist. I was initially creeped out thinking he was a spook. I was somewhat more creeped out learning he was a dentist.
Yeah.
He had a lot of good questions, I thought, though. He seemed to have like, I mean, I don't think he was doing anything creepy or anything. He seemed like have a legitimate interest. Hey, I was too, because he kind of sidled up next to us in the courtyard.
Yeah. It seemed like
it did. We were already here for about 30 minutes. I feel like.
Right. Came out of nowhere.
Yeah, so they were gonna like dispatching someone to come babysit us. That would have been the good timing. But this is the building where Kirk's alleged assassin Tyler Robinson jumps off that corner over there, that building right there, and then finds his way over to the neighborhood of the Lyman neighborhood across the street to the where the gun's allegedly located, just beyond that wood line, right in front of you.
The gun that we've never seen.
The gun we've never seen. The stock photo images have been released with no evidence of actual gun or the bullet that was allegedly fired from the gun, right? And allegedly not matching the rifle. And isn't it? Speaking, you were mentioning earlier, there, other JJ, sir. If you can repeat some of the comments you were telling me before. I had never considered it, but Lee Harvey Oswald does look suspiciously.
Yes, oddly like him. They have the same shaped head.
They do, and they kind of have a very kind of similar disheveled looking appearance in their mugshots.
Now, I'm not saying that what is it, phenology or phenology?
Yeah, that sounds right. We'll go with that.
I'm not saying it's 100%, but I think there is something to it because I mean they have the same sort of shape at the head.
I know. As soon as you said that, it did it like clicked like a light bulb in my brain. I was like, that actually, yeah. And if you think about it, and the thing I didn't mention before, both weapons are Manlico Carcano.
Yes.
It's the same alleged bullshit rifle behind both assassinations. Because
another reason I think he's a patsy.
We know in the JFK, the known there is they had a different rifle photographed, and then they brought in the Manlico Carcano later, which is an Italian bullshit rifle that clearly was not capable of doing that job or this job.
Right. Well, and that's also another magic bullet, right?
That is another magic bullet.
Back and to the left.
Yep.
So
it is another magic bullet because now we have another bullet doing things that we don't know bullets to do.
And also Charlie Kirk with the strongest neck known to humans.
Some might say a Superman neck.
Exactly.
Like his wife.
Steel.
Whatever happened to that narrative? That one went away fast, didn't it?
Kind of had to stop talking about it.
Yeah, the white Erica Kirk's like, was it Mikey McCoy or one of his other Tyler something? It wasn't McCoy. I usually want to blame Mikey McCoy because his father was his grandfather was the admiral in charge of psychological operations.
Right.
And then his father's in charge of that evangelical church that just happened to be at the Thousand Oaks, California country bar shooting.
Is he the one that just passed away? Charlie Kirk's like spiritual advisor or something passed away.
Oh no, that's a different guy. But he is surrounded by some sketchy. Yes, surrounded by some sketchy characters. No, the thing though with what was it? Tyler Boyer.
Okay.
So I think it was Tyler Boyer. I think was the one that first started the strong Superman neck, because he said Erica told him that, and the doctor told Erica or whatever. But that whole thing went away.
Hit his vertebrae or whatever and went down
into
his body.
So I want to hear what I want to know, like in a lot of these circumstances, is why none of these bullshit narratives ever have to be like defended.
Right.
How can Erica Kirk, Tyler Boyer, and the TPUSA gang go out and make other statements and not be questioned? Well, hey, remember that time you told us he had Superman neck? Was the bullet made out of kryptonite? What happened there?
Yeah, I think it's just part of the ultimate cover-up. I think it's part of the demoralization of it all. And I think it was a plan all along. So there was a certain point, though, where...
You think Kirk was a plant?
No.
Or groomed from a very young age?
Yes, I think he was definitely groomed, and he was being groomed to be president. That's all.
I don't disagree, yeah.
Confirmed. But I think there was a certain point where something happened where they had to give him up and say, all right, well, we're going to tie up this loose end now. And I think a lot of it was him questioning Trump on it, Iran, being anti-war.
That's a valid point.
And the fact, I think it was multiple things, but definitely the leaving the pro-Israel cause was going to be a big deal because people followed Charlie Kirk, period.
We do seem like the wheels further in motion in July after the big TPUSA event where we had Tucker Carlson on.
Dave Smith.
That's right. Dave Smith was there too, and they were very...
That the first official that I'm hearing on X announced that Charlie Kirk is dead is Benjamin Netanyahu. Like, why is Bibi saying this? And he was the only world leader that came out and said, we didn't do it.
Strangely enough, that is strange. And strangely enough, in regards to some of the more recent footage I've seen regarding some of those matters, I think the very first person that I've seen now that would post about his death was a guy by the name of Victor Marx. He's a shady, satanic character of a gun-running kind of variety, right? And Charlie Kirk had cut him off prior to his death. He was another kind of spiritual advisor.
Yeah, that's so weird. There's just all of these weird connections around him. It was very clearly an inside job.
Yeah. And this is this the National Security Center building we're standing next to?
Yeah, this is they teach all of the computer stuff, all of computer science.
Where the spies were born.
Yeah.
The Intel computer spies.
Yep, not the guys that go out in the field.
The analysts.
The guys that stay behind in the office and do their nerd stuff.
So we have the future unintelligence agency spook level Muppet analysts here in this building. This is where they're born, the National Security Center. And then literally the courtyard beyond that building is where the murder happens. And then this is the building again where the escape happens.
The building with a pyramid on top of it, which I think is very strange.
The pyramid followed by the apparent Kabbalistic tree of life garden water feature they have down there.
Right.
Very odd. They're only missing an obelisk. They get a giant dick statue in here, we're good to go. No, I had no idea, man. Like I had no idea that this university was so well ensconced in producing spooks.
Dude, like a third whole university is surrounded, or not surrounded, but it's a focused on intelligence work.
Yeah, because this is a big building.
Mm-hmm.
This goes a few hundred yards that way, and there's multiple floors. Yeah.
Yeah, and like we found out earlier, this school has a larger student body than Brigham Young University.
Dude, I had not even heard of this school until the Charlie Kirk event happened. I was in disbelief when you told me they had 48,000 students there.
I didn't even know. Didn't even know.
I mean, it's a big campus, but I wouldn't have imagined. That's when I was like, oh, 4,800? And you're like, no, look at this, 48,000.
48,000.
Oh, shit. All right, well, next up, I appreciate the debrief there and the dentist. I don't think initially I was a little bit creeped out. A nice guy, good conversation.
Still creeped out, just for different reasons.
Different reasons. Mormon fundamentalist, Mormon cult connected dentist. Nice guy though.
Fits right in.
All right, fits right into the GCD adventure. It's the high weirdness. Howdy, folks. Your host Double J back here, coming at you live / recorded from the Mormon mothership in Ogden, Utah, here at the dog park. We just had a little dance routine from the local crackhead. No big deal. I was trying to get a little capturing of those dance moves, man. They were spectacular. Oh, maybe she's breaking into dance again. Hold on, wait for it. Wait for it. I see her moving. She was just wandering randomly through the dog park section here, and then I kind of looked at her funky. She exited, and then she started doing, oh, here we go. The dance moves are back. Just your standard close encounters with the crackhead kind. What is she doing, dude? This is a kid's baseball game she's dancing outside of. What is she doing? What is going on right now? There were some wild there. Oh, now she's cheering them on. They're good for her. Good for the crackhead. Just your local crackhead and some encounters with the crackhead kind. Close encounters with the crackhead kind. Your standard Utah cracktivity, if you will. It's Checkpoint Dog Park. It's a nice dog park. It's a nice little town they got here. I'm not gonna lie to you. These Mormons live pretty nice little spot. Nice clean out. It's not shit on the sidewalks. There's no none I could stab anywhere. Not these crackheads. They're not the stabby kind of crackheads. You know, they got the grizzly bears and the black bears. You're like, oh, you'd be good if you find a grizzly bear. Or I'm sorry, a black bear. You see a grizzly bear, brown bear, you're in trouble, buddy. Well, that's the kind of deal with these crackheads, I think. You know, these are the Utah crackheads. They're like the black bears of crackheads, if you will. I want to see some of them dance moves she had going on. And also hope she stays on that side of the fence. Let's be honest about the situation. Anyhow, folks at the interwebs had a really wild adventure with other JJ, OJJ there, Jacob J. Rise to Liberty, and I were doing a tour there of Utah Valley University campus. Nice little pathway up there for doggos. We ran into what we initially assumed was a spook of some regard who saddled up next to us there, but turned out was probably just a dentist. Probably just a regular dentist. Although that's kind of spooky if you ask me. It was interesting though. He seemed to, it was an interesting conversation. We actually conversed with the man and we actually gave him a tour kind of UVU there, more so Jacob J, but I gave him a tour some of the conspiracy theories surrounding the event because he seemed to be a pretty run-of-your-mill kind of MAGA dude, if you will. Former Mormon, many years former Mormon, but yeah, definitely wasn't conspiracy minded at least, but I don't think he didn't seem to believe the official narrative still at that because he was eventually he ventured over to the courtyard area and that's where he found us and was asking questions about did that shot really come from there, and he was making the comparison to the Dealey Plaza, which then OJJ and I were laughing about because we were already talking he was already dropping some Lee Harvey Oswald, Tyler Robinson comparisons to me by that point. So it was another adventure on the high weirdness road, if you will, here on Operation GCD Adventures. I definitely reminded that fellow, the dentist, the former Mormon dentist fellow, don't vote for me in 2028, folks. I am not the vice president. In fact, vote for this lady and for voting for somebody else. These dance moves are outrageously good. Why wouldn't you vote for her? Howdy, folks. Your host, Double J, back here. Coming at you, still live / recorded from the Mormon mothership of the Great Salt Lake Cities. Technically, this is Ogden, Utah, just to the north of it here. And this plaque right here used to read, I'll put a screenshot here in the video, but this used to read Mound Fort, the original settlement here. The plaque is now gone for some reason. That's a bit strange. This is the Mormon Mound Fort Ward. I think it's seen better days. I see bars on some of those windows over there. That's strange. You can't see that on too many ward buildings. Although this one is apparently closed permanently, this ward building. So you'll have that. But yeah, maybe they took the plaque with them. I don't know because of that. But it is interesting because in my general Mormon mound thesis is here, thesi, maybe we'll call it Mormon mound thesi. Mormons love to build stuff on mounds. So did the Society of Cincinnati, because the Mormons are an offshoot of the Society of Cincinnati. So this is the site of what was called Mound Fort. Got a nice little view there of the mountain and a bit over here of the valley as far as where they initially set up here. But as this plaque used to read here, this is the original settlement in 1848. Mound Fort. Shocker. No surprise here, folks, of the interwebs. This is, you talking mound stuff? Talking my language now, folks. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Mormons building on mounds and Society of Cincinnati building on mounds. And this site right here where this placard is and this building is in fact the site of an ancient Indian burial mound. And I do suspect when Mormons were heading west, the stops they did make, the least of which Independence, Missouri, before Nauvoo, Illinois, which was also a mound site, which we stopped at a few months back here in the Operation GCD Adventures checkpoint, Mound Fort, Utah, the original settlement in 1848 here into the Great Salt Lake Valley. One of the original settlements, at least. I don't know if it's the earliest one. It's certainly one of the earliest, if not the earliest. The plaque I don't think the plaque specified either. I do think it was the first settlement into the Great Salt Lake Valley in 1848. But this is the site of an Indian burial mound. They decided to put a church ward on after they had a fort built here called Mound Fort. Not just a fancy name. It's an actual mound fort, apparently. And like I said, it sits kind of at the base of the mountains over there into the foothills and into this valley. I'm just trying not to get run the fuck over here by... See, folks, it's like 30 miles an hour for there. I see folks doing like 55. I'm like, what the fuck is going on around here, Utahns? Utes? Maybe Utes? What the fuck's going on here? Utes? The two Utes. Checkpoint Mound Fort. All secure. Big mountain. Big mountain. Big skies and big mountains. Here at Mound Fort, Utah, 1848, one of the original settlements. I believe I was talking to other JJ yesterday, as he's a local from these here parts. He was telling me the name Ogden hails from, we'll call him Phil Skeens Ogden. And I'm like, oh, I know those names. Skeens are one of the original settlement families of New Sweden, aka now Delaware. And the Ogdens are of the Society of the Cincinnati family out of the New Jersey chapter. Thus, I do suspect Phil, we'll call him Phil Skeens Ogden, was the man who was responsible for this here Mound Fort, which is now the Mound Fort ward of the local establishment of the Mormon Mothership. And I'm going to have to find out where the hell that plaque went, because that's where they would take that down. because it's very explicitly telling you this is built on a mound in 1848 on an ancient Indian burial mound. And well, now you're talking my language there, Black. Anyhow, out here. Howdy, folks. Your host, Double J, back here, coming at you live/recorded. Getting my kicks on Route 66 here on Operation GCD Adventures. Stop here in Barstow, California. And it's not much going on here. Very windy. Probably going to have to re-record this audio because it's that fucking windy. They got taco truck over there, dude. They got some sort of 24/7 Mexican food situations. Boom. Flight got to stop there and salsa right down from my hotel, where I just ran into the proprietor of my Motel 6. The Punjabi fellow loves himself some Mexican, apparently. Barstow, real nice town. Probably 72 years ago. Route 66 is built through here. That's Route 66 right there. AKA this traffic right here. Not much nice to say about this town, except for this food looks delicious. It smells delicious, and a few English words about the proprietor of the Motel 6, who I just saw him picking up his food. See, he had some good noises to make about it. But I got myself my new favorite Mexicano breakfast foods. I kill it. They don't make me pronounce things. Chilaquiles, Verdes, or Rojos. I'm on the Verdes. Let's go with the actual description if I just make shit up. It is 2 eggs, plus over easy, plus rice and beans, plus cheese, plus onions with a bread and green sauce on top. And wait for it. I put that on some nachos, dude. It's all on some bed of nachos and stuff. And wait for it. It's delicious. Oh, you can also add meat, of course, which I did because I like meat. I like meat stuff. Of the chilaquiles varieties in my mouth hole. Anyhow, welcome to Barstow, folks of the interwebs. Getting my kicks here on Route 66 and getting some chilaquiles, some sort of delicious Mexican breakfast food here in my mouth hole. Howdy, folks. Your host, Double J, back here, coming at you. Coming at you live/recorded from headquarters of Xenu here in Southern California, the West Coast headquarters of Xenu. You may notice that I'm driving through this stretch here because I don't want to get shot by fucking lasers, dude. Xenu's our galactic overlord. You don't think he's got fucking lasers? I'm pretty sure he's got lasers. Xenu strikes me as the type of galactic overlord that has fucking lasers. But Checkpoint Scientology, Xenuville here, folks of the interwebs. Once again, your host, Double J, back here with another installment of GCD Adventures. Over here to our right, more of the Xenu lands. It's not a theme park. It's not an amusement park. In fact, I don't recommend going here. In fact, I'm not stopping. I believe in the Louis Theroux documentary, he stops right, boom, there, and gets all jammed up. Golden Era Productions golf course right there. Golden Era Productions being Scientology's, L. Ron Hubbard's production companies. Coming in hot. Anyhow, folks of the interwebs, Checkpoint Scientology. It is, I can see why Xenu picked this area of the country. It's a nice little valley, you know what I mean? They got their own water source / swamp. But anyhow, just checking in here with this Checkpoint Xenuville. Out here.
Well, that's it. That's the show here, folks. So the next time you're out on the town, visiting your local watering holes, or perhaps just meandering around, and you hear the unmistakable sounds of metal clanking, and you spot signs of a disturbance, well, check your 6. look in that garbage can, 'cause you never can tell. The GCDs may be loose in your town.